Greetings and salutations, friends, and welcome to some more Flight Sim World with Mr. Adrian. And there's been another update. Oh yes. What are we on now? We are on version 1.0.17229.0, as you can probably see up in the corner. And this one brought us a little bit of a tweak to the lighting, which is incredibly evident. Look at that, that's gorgeous. That is so much better. And yeah, it's quite interesting that Mr. Chris decided that he was going to tell us on Wednesday that there would be an update later in the week, because it's already been confirmed by Dovetail that Friday updates are not a thing, so he could just have well said Thursday, to be honest. But, you know, whatever, it is what it is. So, apart from this minor tweak to the lighting, which actually has affected my frame rate ever so slightly, by the look of it. Oh, you know what? It's probably the rain effects. Oh, hang on. I'll trim this up a little bit. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to reduce the throttle. There we go. I just want to stay under the cloud layer, just to keep this pretty little city underneath me. There. So, so apart from the slight improvement to the lighting, well, actually, it's a great improvement to the lighting, to be honest. They've also done some work with the Pro Mission editor. And also we've now got Steam Workshop integration. So if you have a fiddle in the Workshop editor and you create something really cool that you want to share, you can actually upload it now to the Steam Workshop. And others can download it and play it very easily. It's really pretty cool, I've got to say. How am I doing? Oh yeah, I'm actually trimmed just by playing with the engine a little bit, and deep. So, where am I today? Well, I'm still in England. Today, I'm flying over Manchester. Manchester. What an oddly underrated city. The Brigantes were a major Celtic tribe in what is now known as northern England. They had a stronghold in the locality at a sandstone outcrop on which Manchester Cathedral now stands, just opposite the bank of the River Irwell. The recorded history of Manchester began with a civilian settlement associated with the Roman fort of Mamercum, which was established in around AD 79 on a sandstone bluff near the confluence of the rivers Medlock and Irwell. It was historically part of Lancashire, although the areas of Cheshire south of the River Mersey were incorporated in the 20th century. And throughout the Middle Ages, Manchester remained a manorial township, but began to expand at an astounding rate around the turn of the 19th century. Manchester's unplanned urbanization was brought on by a boom in the textile manufacturing during the Industrial Revolution, and resulted in it becoming the world's first industrialized city. Manchester achieved city status in 1853. The Manchester Ship Canal opened in 1894 and created the Port of Manchester, and linking the city to the sea, which is some 36 miles to the west. Its fortunes unfortunately declined after the Second World War, owing, of course, to the deindustrialization of England. Thomas Delaware, Lord of the Manor, founded and constructed a college church for the parish in 1421. The church is actually now Manchester Cathedral, the domestic premises of the College House, Cheltenham School for Music, and Cheltenham's Library. The library, which actually opened in 1653, is still open to the public today. Is one of the first and oldest free public reference libraries in the United Kingdom. Manchester's history is concerned mostly with the textile manufacturing that occurred during the Industrial Revolution. The great majority of cotton spinning took place in the towns South Lancashire and North Cheshire, and Manchester was for a time the most productive centre of cotton processing, and later the world's largest marketplace for cotton goods. Manchester was dubbed Cottonopolis and Warehouse City during the Victorian era. And interestingly, in Australia and New Zealand and areas of South Africa, the term Manchester is still used today for the description of household linen such as sheets, pillowcases and towels. The Industrial Revolution brought about a huge change in Manchester and was key to the increase in Manchester's population. And evidence of that is still quite clear today. Like most of the UK, the Manchester area was mobilised extensively during the Second World War. For example, casting and machining expertise at Bayer, Peacock and Company's locomotive works at Gorton was switched to bomb making. Dunlop's rubber works in Chorlton made barrage balloons, and just outside the city of Trafford Park, engineers Metropolitan Vickers made Avro Manchester and Avro Lancaster bombers, and Ford built the Rolls-Royce Merlin engines to power them. Manchester was thus the target of bombing by the Luftwaffe, and by the late 1940 air raids were taking place against non-military targets. The biggest took place during the Christmas Blitz on the night of the 22nd and 23rd and 24th of December in 1940, when an estimated 474 tons of high explosive, plus other incendiary bombs, some 37,000, were dropped. A large part of the historic city centre was actually destroyed, including 165 warehouses and 200 business premises, and some 150 offices. About 376 people were actually killed, and 30,000 houses were damaged. The Manchester Cathedral itself was among the buildings seriously damaged, and its restoration took around 20 years. So there you go, a little bit of history for Manchester for you. Good stuff. So hopefully I'm now turning back towards the airport. I can't tell which lines are my track and which lines are not. I think this is my track here. On the GPS there, obviously. I'm getting a little bit of lag now. Just a touch. I think it's a combination of the weather and the amount of autogen that's currently being drawn. That's a lot. It's really nice too. A little bit of popping going on, which is a little bit irritating. Hopefully they'll take care of that. Well, I'm sure they will. It's not like they aren't working on things, but just look at the shadowing that's occurring on the buildings. It's really nice. Like on this side, you can see you can see the size of the buildings are being hit by the sun, and if you go this way, they're being hit. Well, they're not being hit by the sun. They are in fact in shade. Oh dear. So recently, HeliSimmer went. Well, recently there was a flight sim con in England. I believe it was in England. And HeliSimmer actually managed to get there and talk to one of the people at Dovetail. I'll drop the link in the bottom here. It's if you are interested in Flight Sim World, it's definitely worth checking out the interview. Our chap at Dovetail says some really interesting things. It's definitely worth checking out. The audio quality is a little bit naff, but it's forgivable. Oh yes, there's the airport there. Lovely. Yes, it's really interesting when the term roadmap came up. It sounds like they've got various members of the team working on a couple of different things all at the same time. Because he says, you know, as things become ready, we'll push them out. And you know, in not so many words, he did drop quite a few spoilers. I'm not going to voice them here. I think I've already kind of sort of hinted upon a couple of things that I've heard from the rumor mill at Dovetail. But you know, this interview, you can hear some of them for yourself if you listen carefully. You know, the weather engine definitely is one of the things that they talk about. The simulation as far as helicopters go, that's being worked on. I don't want to give too much away, so you can go check out the video if you haven't seen it. I'll drop the link in the bottom here. But yeah, go check out that video. It's definitely worth a peek. You know. And HeliSimmer does some really cool vids and some cool reviews on well, helicopters. If you're into that kind of thing, I am. I love helicopters myself. I can't wait for them to come back into the sim. I can't wait to see what Dovetail have done with them. You know, one thing I always wanted to try in FSX and P3D was to try that auto rotation, where you kill the tail rotor input and you try and control the aircraft as it, well, technically falls, really, I guess is the term. But yeah, I can't wait to see if they've actually improved the physics engine to the point where we can actually do that. That would be amazing. Well, that's it. That's Manchester. That's the update. There's all kinds of weird and wonderful things coming down the pipeline. We got collusion from third-party interests. We've got a tongue-in-cheek confirmation that, you know, larger aircraft are on the horizon. All kinds of stuff. And of course, you know, this lovely update, which really has changed the lighting for us. It looks so much nicer. So if you've enjoyed this little bit of waffle, don't forget to lean in and caress that like button ever so gently. If not, just drop me a little message and say that you hated it and why. But other than that, ooh, hello. Woo. That needs to be adjusted slightly. Other than that, I guess I will see you anon.